strategist and analyst as well, to just give us a sense of view so far, and where is he coming from, why does he really want to be very prominent a voice in the current spate of time that we're living in, especially in our politics. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes.
And my apologies for arriving late. It was not by design.
No, that's okay. I know the challenge is early in the morning, especially if it's not really your thing early in the morning.
But let me go to the point. My name is Anthony. I come from Kirinyaga County.
Yes.
I live between Kirinyaga and I also live here in Nairobi. You've asked a good question. You've asked why did I find myself angling to this political space? It did not begin with William Ruto or the current administration. No, I've been in politics from the days of TNA. You know, and one of the things that will really help this country move forward is when young people and every Kenyan comes in and they align themselves to where they feel they're strong. You know, my friends here, two of them I can say want to run for office. I'm more of a strategic person. And one of the things that really made me put my brains and my thoughts to the current discourse in this country is that beyond the noise, what people are calling noise, the young people, the Gen Zs and the millennials and mostly Kenyans, they had a call. They said things are not working in this country. And they could actually articulate what is not working. But every time they raised their voice, they were muzzled down. And in fact, the Gen Zs were told, you know, stop insulting your leaders, be respectful, you know, there's a better way of doing this. Look at Kenya today. The Gen Zs have today organized, millennials have organized, they are articulating issues, they are talking about SHA, they are talking about the bloated cost of the Talanta Stadium, they are talking about corruption in government, and they're not only talking about these things, but they're actually even putting solutions on the table. When we had issues with the funding model, people in the universities say there's an issue with this model, but we can give you a solution to this. So one of the things that I think happened in June 2024 was a lack of strategy in how best to skin this cow. And that's where we came in, or I decided to come in. And one of the things I'm really big in, even when we come to these spaces, people will tell you that Anthony is always pushing, let's have a structured way of doing things. Because, you know, a small team that is structured will always be a big team that is not structured. So today as we talk, look at where we are. Let's bring Kenya forward, you know, from the streets to the ballot. We started by young people saying we have an issue with this finance bill. It's not catering to the needs of Kenyans. And they demonstrated in the streets because that is what they had seen happening, you know. The late BAMBA was very instrumental in telling people, you know, we can go to the streets and do this. But what were they met with? My colleague here says she had a whisker with death. She was almost shot. And
she was shot.
She was actually shot. And I remember going to Kahawa to see the kids who had been arrested with terrorism charges. And I was one of the people who went behind the scenes to organize for bail money, to organize for lawyers to come in and support these people. Even when the issue of her compensation came in, you know, the people in the background said you cannot have compensation without justice. You know, you can't compensate a life, but you can give justice to the bereaved. There's a big difference there. So when young people, because I'm a millennial, when young people come in and say we want to mobilize votes, that's a place that I'm very engrossed in. You know, I'm very passionate about it. In fact, after this, I'm dashing to Kibera. Why? Because you cannot tear gas a ballot. You cannot shoot a ballot. You know, you cannot put a ballot in hospital, but the ballot can put you out of work. So we've gotten to a point where now that we've turned the tides. The young people who used to be told, you know, don't insult the people, they stopped insulting and started organizing. Today, the people who are saying don't insult us are every day saying, you're fat. Another one has hired a wife. Another one sleeps all the time. They have moved from issues that they wanted us to discuss, and they have gone to the level that they got us from. So when we are now saying, let us discuss issues, let us discuss how is IEBC structured. Let us discuss why did you reduce the budget for IEBC in terms of media? Because today IEBC cannot sensitize the people on what the voter process looks like, because voting is a process, registration is a process, and voting is a process. What do you need to be an eligible voter? How do you verify your votes? So once now we come into that space where we are saying, these are the issues young people are facing when they go to the ballot, missing names, or you find, I was in Kasarani with my friend here, and one guy said, my parents have passed away, but I'm going to present the idea and see. The parents are still on the on the roll call for voting. So we want to have structured conversations. We want to have a structured way forward. And when people say that we have issues, and we believe that most of the people today in Parliament and in the Senate and governors deserve a term limit that is only one. We are not just shouting about it, we are organizing around that. So that we can be an example to those people who come after us, that when people decide and organize around a cause, and organize in a good way, and put strategy into it, then they can achieve the results they want.
Yeah. Right, thank you. All right, thank you, Anthony. I think on that particular note, we want to take station.